Hey y'all, I want to come on real quick. Got another perspective for y'all today. This is in relation to my video that I did earlier today, and any videos that I've done in the past regarding the Nephilim, the fallen angels, and them impregnating or coming forth to mate with the women of earth because they lusted after them. Okay, you know, many people want to know. I did a video earlier today speaking to the Nephilim mating with these women, creating bloodlines and things of that sort. Check it out. It's on my YouTube page. This video is about, you know, if the Nephilim were angels, how did they impregnate the women? How did that happen? How does a non-physical being, an energetic being, mate with the women? Because as I said in my previous videos, that was the whole reason for them lusting after these women. That was the whole reason of them wanting to have a relation with these women. That was the whole reason for God saying, do not mate with certain people. Okay? That was the whole purpose. That is the whole reason why you see the children and all of their forefathers at war. They're at war with the fallen angels. It is a war between the sons of God and the sons of the fallen ones. That's all this is, okay? Please keep that in perspective. So when these angels came down here, they came down here with the first intention, and that was to mix the bloodline, to incarnate, to get an offspring which was of them within the human body, because angels don't procreate like we do. Two separate types of entities. These are highly energetic beings. These are beings of the ethereal realm. They are more like light. So, you know, if you look at all across Egypt, Kemet, if you look on the walls, if you look into any of the ancient texts, you'll see these depictions of, you know, these beings, these human beings mating with other entities. It was renowned, it was known all across the planet that this happened. A lot of this stems from planetary processions, constellations, timing. All of these things are divine timing. It all has to do with mathematics, conception. I heard a brother say in one of his videos that you really wasn't a real powerful woman unless you could actually conceive. Not just between you and your husband. These people were honing in on frequencies, energies, star alignments, planetary alignments, divine dates. They were honing in on these things because this timing, when certain physical, sexual, erotic activities are done during these times, you are conjuring an energy. These people were not just having sex to be having sex. Everything was premeditated. Everything. Blind to things nowadays. We're blind. We are completely blind. Nothing happened for nothing. These people were when you talk about a divine birth, when you talk about immaculate conception, you're speaking to this. How do you think that Eve was able to have sex with the serpent and it be the devil's child? The devil was working by way of the serpent. Remember, he said, I'm gonna show you some work you can do that you'll see a success from. Don't worry about how it's going to get done. I just need you as the vessel. I will put the words in your mouth. I am going to work through you. It said it right there. So all the devil did was do the act. But all the serpent did was do the act. He was the vessel. But the devil was the spirit that impregnated Eve. It wasn't the serpent. It was not the serpent's seed. It was the devil's seed. This is what was going on. Lots of this was popping off around here. A lot of this. You had stars that would only be within alignment for very, very, very short periods of time, and you had to be able to capture that light. It's interesting. It's interesting. And this was it. These be the things that made the women great. You would be great if you could do that. If you could use your avatar, your vessel to do that. This is just what they were doing. I'm just speaking what was going on. This is that. This is just a part of it. I mean, it's so much. This is just a part of it. I told you, they had opened up portals. And once they opened them, nobody could close them but God. These portals were open. It was popping up in here. A lot of these entities that were coming and going were not housed in bodies. They were spiritual beings. And so the first thing that they needed to do was to lessen the covering of the people. Because without the covering being lessened, the spiritual beings that were here had no place to, they had no domain. They had no place to rest. They had no place to rest. And it's not about good or bad. I'm not here to judge anybody. I'm just here to make this thing make some sense. It's interesting. It is really, I'm telling you, I could read on this all day and all night and it wouldn't bother me none. It gets just more interesting the more you go on. And what's so interesting also is the thought process of these fallen ones. They're in a peculiar situation. These were God's footmen. It wasn't like they were created wicked and evil. They wasn't evil and wicked. They were not. Initially, they were righteous. They were more righteous than than humans. They have a thorougher understanding of things than any of us. When Enoch went before them, and they were all huddled up, weeping and lamenting. It's a trip, y'all. This thing is a trip. They were petrified. When you read that text, they were so afraid. They were beyond afraid. This is the same God that has removed whole bloodlines as if they didn't exist. Could you imagine sacrificing your whole life, just going through sacrificing things so that you can get to a certain level, only to get to a place where this God wipes it all out? You don't have nothing left in the earth. Nothing. As if all of them that came before you didn't exist. You are punished on levels you don't even understand. You're punished in the ancestral. All of your ancestors, you flushed it all down the drain. See, and these are the things you don't think about. We only think about, many people are so stuck into this matrix. They only think about what they see. They don't take the time to focus on the deeper layers of this thing. This stuff running around here is nothing. This is nothing. You can have anything you want in this life. People that haven't ascended think is important, you know is not important. Looks are great. But you know, you could walk around looking like a bum all day long and have a closet full of designer. And nobody would even know. If you told them, they think you're lying. But you don't even care. You don't care. It doesn't matter to you. Like, it really doesn't matter. Like, it's not like I want to act like it doesn't matter so I can seem like it really doesn't matter. You could aspire for anything. Yeah, you aspire for truth. Not even knowledge. You don't aspire for knowledge. You aspire for truth. You get real particular about what you say you desire, because it fine-tunes you as you progress. It's miraculous. It is miraculous. And that's why I tell you, there are many amongst you that don't look like what you think it should look like, but they are all powerful. It would be nothing for them to bless you. Nothing. But why would they? Why would they give away what they had to earn so? Why would they weaken you like that? Why would they give you something that will weaken you? I don't need nobody to give me nothing. I'm gonna get everything I'm supposed to get in this life. I got the courage to go after it. So I don't want you to ever think that you've given me something. I'm gonna give you something. See, that's how, hey friend, that's to think that people don't think of this. How would I read that today, how did the fallen angels mate? And it just occurred to me, I hadn't even spoken to that. They made it by way of what you see on all them walls in Egypt. And you see different deities, kings, whatever you want, pharaohs, entities laying down, and their penis is erect, and they got a dove floating around above them, or another type of bird, and it's always a goddess standing there at it. This is what they were doing. They had goddess temples all throughout the kingdom where this was a way of life. You were powerful by what you could conceive. You wasn't powerful because, what you had on and who you married. Who you married was dependent upon your bloodline. Who you married was dependent upon who you were as a daughter. These be the things. Who you married was dependent upon who the gods chose for you. This is why the whale symbology is so important and paramount. This is the whole Beersheba name. The Shekinah, the glories. Oh my goodness. It'd be like that. It really be like that. And like I said in my video, I don't want anybody to take what I say and run with it as if it's law. This is not the case here. I'm not trying to come across as a know-it-all. I'm offering you something to help you along your path, whether you take it or leave it. You don't have to look at my stuff and say, oh, she's smart or she's dumb. I don't really care either way, because I'm not getting nothing from y'all. Nothing. Well, I can't say all of y'all. The ones I'm getting some from, you know who you are. And God bless you. You got my blessings. It's a trip. It's a trip. It's sad how many of the children are lost. And many of the children suffer from imposter syndrome. They suffer from just following. Just, okay, that's what it's supposed to look like. Okay, I'm going to do that. That's what you suffer from. And anybody that tries to tell you otherwise, you hate them. You follow the feeling of the next person and the next person. You don't think about yourself. You don't listen to your heart. You don't listen to the God within. And somebody come and tell you to do that, you want to try to clown them and diss them, and you can never do that. Ever. Not ever. They're going to just keep doing what they do. Because honestly, we are all on a timetable. All the time you spending up trying to deflect and ignore what the heart is telling you is only hurting you, while that next person is delivering on their promise, regardless to if you believe it or not, whether you believe they should be doing more or less. They're doing what their heart tells them that they should be doing. And that's all that matters in this. It's not about doing what somebody else expects you to do and feeling the pressure of that and making that propel you. No, that is not it. And we will find ourselves in that space until the spirit tells you to hold up, wait a minute, look around. That's not what we do over here. We're doing this. We're doing us. Unapologetically. Because that's what spirit does. And if you don't agree with it, that's cool. I welcome that. I welcome the disagreeables, because you know what? At least you're thinking for yourself. But that don't mean that you gonna make me think like you. No. I'ma still do what I'm doing. I'ma still do me. And you, I pray, continue to do you. That's the spirit. That's the spirit. Without any animosity, without any judgment, none of that. High five. You know what I mean? This was on my spirit today about these angels that fell, and they've been on my spirit thinking about them because, you know, like I said, they were angels. They were God's footmen, even though they did rebel. There's an aspect of them that was righteous. That's the aspect I want to tap into. I want to get to know that aspect of them, because that aspect is still there. They're just bound to a punishment where they have to move a certain way due to a punishment. Period. And that is going to be their redeemable factor. You watch and see. You watch. Because they could turn this whole thing around. And that will redeem them. It's a trip. It's a trip. I'm telling you, this is a powerful time to be alive. You need to thank God. You need to thank yourself. Your highest self that decided to incarnate in this life at this time. I'm here to tell you. Don't get so lost in the movie that you don't play your part. If you're born in this life, you was born in here to play a part. What part are you playing? Or are you just got your popcorn and you just watching it? Are you adding to the mix? Are you adding to the mix in form of all the nonsense and the rhetoric? Because it matters. And you're the only one that it matters to, friend. That's the beauty of it. It ain't gonna be about what nobody else said, did, felt. None of that. It's about your role. And that's the part you gotta always remember, because it's easy to forget it. It is easy to forget who you are. You keep getting up and laying down. It will be easy for you to forget that aspect of things. That simple aspect. What part are you playing? Period. It's an interesting time. Peace and love.